Alrighty, welcome to what I think is going to be the last down to 9 days of construction left. So 9 days of active construction. That doesn't include Sunday if they're not working Sunday. So we'll have to wait and see if this ends up being accurate. So definitely we're going to be covering the last 9 days of construction, and we're very excited about it. They are making leaps of progress in terms of getting AlpenFury complete. There is a bump in the road that I'm not going to discuss in detail, but if you watch the video as we're covering AlpenFury, you'll be able to see something that has gotten in the way of completing AlpenFury's double inverted top hat, and why they've started to progress from the Skyflyer loop backwards and have paused on the double inverted top hat. You'll see that in this video if you pay close attention. I'm just not going to talk about it, but it's very obvious if you're looking very closely. So with that being said, this is the ice winder roll. I think I called it the stall in my last video. They are on the same tower, but this specific element here is the ice winder roll, the one that kind of like inverts and then inverts back away from itself. I'll throw an example just up on the screen for you guys if I remember. I have a tendency to say I will, and then I don't. But right here, there'll be an example. And then you'll also see using somewhat of the same structure is the stall. So two very exciting elements, and we are talking in Discord, and I'm really excited to see how these elements look in real life as well, because it's been a continuous trend that AlpenFury just looks sharper and a lot better in reality. And one fact I want you guys to really understand is the drone does not do AlpenFury justice. So it looks good in photos and it looks good in videos, but I promise you it looks even better in person. So if you have a chance to go to Canada's Wonderland on maybe one of your off days, step on the grass hill, don't go on park property, and have a look, you'll be surely impressed at the size and the shaping of AlpenFury that the drone kind of dulls down in these videos. So definitely, if you have the chance, do it. I'm trying to get lower to the ground shots with the drone because the drone's got really good zoom, like beyond impressive zoom. So it makes no sense to use phone cameras or even a camera when the drone can 112 times zoom. You're going to see in this video some really nice shots of AlpenFury, and then on our Instagram page, some really nice shots as well using the drone. So with that being said, they were using two crane operators, one on either end of the stall and the ice winder roll, to kind of meet in the middle. And that's because they're actually going to need, if I'm not mistaken, and if Jake's not mistaken, because Jake was trying to describe the process to me, they're going to need two cranes, if not three, to essentially maybe build this. I think they're only going to need two. I also think that there's a chance that they might only need one. I saw how they built the Skyflyer loop, and as long as it's supported with some supports, they can tie it off and then put in that last piece. But there's a chance they might need two cranes. So let's see who's right. Jake saying they'll need two or three, or me saying they might be okay with just one. We'll have to wait and see. But with that being said, they're definitely building off on either end, and they're going to meet in the middle. Again, we are hopefully, fingers crossed if I'm correct, in the last 9 days of construction. They do need to get these heavy vehicles out of the park so they can fix any of the broken bricks and start power washing the park to get ready for open. If you even look in this one sequence of video, there's just dirt everywhere. The fencing hasn't been put back in, which they have started today, by the way. You'll start to see there is a excavation machine that is going to be drilling holes for the fencing along the ride path and around the park, like the Pizza patio. So they should start there. Still no work going on with the double inverted top hat. That's obviously for specific reasons, but a lot of work has taken place elsewhere. They've wasted no time. So there isn't any evident delays, in my opinion. It does look like they could potentially tackle this in 9 days of construction. Obviously, weather depending. So if there's obviously extreme weather for a day or two, or high winds for a day or two, that's going to change things, because right now they're able to work on these lower to the ground elements even in high wind. But when they're trying to build the stall and get pieces very specific, if there's high wind or high rain, they're not going to be able to do that, especially with the double inverted top hat. So fingers crossed the weather is looking in our favor. They do operate in light rain, but yes, heavy wind and heavy rain they cannot operate in. So guys, we need those fingers crossed that this works out, and this is completed in about 9 days. So with that being said, as you can see here, they are, like I said, working from one end to the other. A lot of the support structure in the park is complete, especially heading back towards that 9th inversion. A lot of that support structure is in there. It's so funny, the social media team I think I caught on the camera. Kudos to you guys. The photos looked absolutely amazing today. But yeah, so a lot of the supports are in. They do just have to do some of the supports for the other end of the tower / stall for the Icewinder roll and the stall. But that is very quick work. They can make that work happen in about a day, maybe 2 max, as well as the track maybe on day 2 and 3 of that. So with that being said, about if there's good weather, about 3 days left to finish this Icewinder roll and possibly stall, maybe 4 if I'm being a little too quick on that. And then they have to finish that almost like double corkscrew element that twists in amongst itself, heading towards that airtime hill and 9th inversion. So those supports are in. That'll be very easy track assembly wise. And then that would probably maybe be about 2 days max of construction, and then the double inverted top hat. So it looks far behind on the double inverted top hat, but trust me, it's not as far behind as you think. So that still gives us about, 9 days worth of construction left. So it's a bold prediction, but we'll have to wait and see. As you can see here, some of the landscaping has begun. Rockscapes has gone in and themed some of those footings. They've gone in and put some fencing in. I think there's going to be some more permanent fencing installed, and thrown in some, I don't know the name for that, that crushed up or cut up lumber that's made, it's not asphalt. I forget. It has a specific name. But nonetheless, they are working in this area as well, laying down electrical for lampposts, lighting, and then I believe some electrical is heading out towards the drop. So that is a good sign, because this electrical is heading towards the station as well. So that could be a sign that the photo for the photo booth is actually going to be at the drop coming out of that double inverted top hat, which would just make so much sense, and that would be awesome instead of it being in some random place like on some other rides like Yukon Striker. No shade, but as you can see here, you can see that electrical heading out towards the drop area. So fingers crossed that is where the photo is going to be. And yeah. So as you can see here, this is another great example as to why they need to get these heavy machinery out of the park before the park opens, and they're able to clean up these paths and replace any bricks that need to be replaced. But this ride is just very much so low to the ground and twists around itself. And every day that I see them get closer to finishing this ride, the more excited I am to ride AlpenFury, because it literally just looks so good. So good. And I'm also really excited to see what they're going to do. Voice crack, by the way. Really excited what they're going to do for the Skyflyer Loop area, because honestly, I really hope they do those like circular paths that the Cedar Fair is famous for underneath it, to get some cool photos of that. Again, they do still have to come in and install some nets, but that is very quick. They're able to just, drill those posts and put nets across underneath where we're walking. So don't worry about that. I'm more so worried about just the 9 days of vertical construction, and then timber kits in the station. And those are the most concerning parts, and obviously getting the trains on and testing. But once the trains are on and you see them testing, that is a very good sign. I'm holding out that we see testing by the beginning of the second week of May. That's what I'm hoping we'll start to see, so they can get those 500 cycles in for AlpenFury. But yeah, nonetheless, I think that's everything. There should be some station shots for you guys as well. But see that little machine over there? That is the drill for the fencing that has arrived on site. A lot of water main work going on, by the way, in this area as the park upgrades their water main after a little incident. But yeah, nonetheless, major progress has occurred. AlpenFury looks great. The shaping's amazing. They appear to be on track so far. And yeah, we should start to see a lot of landscaping work continue. And Rockscapes is working on that entrance into the mountain, as you can see here, which is going to look amazing as well. Can't wait to see the finished product. And yeah, no clearance envelope testing can continue, obviously, until they've done the double inverted top hat. And yeah, so outside of that, no sign of the entrance sign yet. But they have started doing some tiling, laying down that pre-roofing before they do the shingles on AlpenFury's merch store and photo booth and the electrical room. I'm also going to put an arrow in a second to show you where the op booth is going to be, right there, that little rusted metal section. That is going to be the op booth. And the elevator is going to be right there. And the queue line is going to be right here. And yeah, I think that's everything I have to say about AlpenFury right now. Still a lot of work to go on in terms of timber kits, but again, they can get a lot of that hammered out, especially when they get this heavy machinery out. And Timber Kits is able to head in and just work on the aesthetics of the station building. But the structure's in. The merch store and the photo booth and the electrical room are, installed and complete. That white tent, the PLC, the brain of the ride is already in and installed. So all good signs. But yes, as you can see, a lot of cosmetic work left to do. But yeah, comment down below, what are you guys most excited about in terms of AlpenFury? Are you excited for the launch? Which inversion are you most excited for? Are you excited to film it or take photos of it if you're not a rider? What part of AlpenFury excites you the most? Comment down below. I'm very curious to see what everyone is most excited about. And yeah, awesome. I think that's everything. I will do more voiceover if I've missed anything in any of the footage that I have on my editing software. But thank you so much for watching our construction updates, and hopefully you guys are enjoying this last little countdown for the 9 days of construction of AlpenFury, in my opinion. And stay tuned for tomorrow's video. Have a good one. Bye.